What was my inspiration to designing these buildings? Mainly the location and the environment in which these structures are fitted. I was trained with Eric Lloyd Wright, who's Frank Lloyd Wright's grandson, and so environment and how to fit a construction into what's there is very important.
It's really quite amazing when you're at these houses and now that they're under construction and you can stand in the living rooms, which were just a computer generated model before, we're going, oh, I think we nailed that view, because it really is special and you kind of, okay, this is, I can wake up to this all day long.
Obviously, we did not want to design something that would obscure or cover the view to the other house. And each house has the best view it could have, and it's unobstructed by all the others. And from a design strategy, there's elements that are blind because that's where your neighbor would be, and so the orientation was away from them and slightly shifted in front of one downhill so that we wouldn't be in each other's views. And although the homes are not miles away from each other, they're very private. There's a lot of glass in the house, and that calls for, people sometimes say, oh, this is all glass, I don't want people to see me. No one's gonna see you. The closest person to you walking around the house would be on PCH looking up the hill, which is a mile and a half down. So
Very good vision.
yeah. Malibu is a place where people in general want to be. It's far away, but it's close to the city, so a lot of people have second homes out here, although it's only 20 miles from downtown LA. And people do want privacy and knowing, that they can be isolated somewhat in their little bubble, but still be, in proximity to their neighbor and the city is.
Yeah, and then the other benefit, you were talking about the neighborhood of Trancas, is that sometimes people have to go way up some windy canyon road to get up to a good view, and this is like within a mile of one of the nicest shopping areas and services and other things are from just PCH, or if you wanted to go to the beach.
How many iterations did you go through?
So look at how many iterations did you go through the design process.
First shot, that was it. A couple of iterations for sure. Initially, like Doug was mentioning, the actual purpose of these buildings was supposed to be mixed, used for business first, and then eventually transform into residential, and then we switched to full custom residential, and so that was already 2 or 3 sketches. And then I have to say that Dustin was very receptive of the design from the very beginning, so there were very little modifications. The style, the language stayed true to itself from the beginning. Yes, they're very unique to the place, and sometimes you see homes like, okay, this house, I call them like non-places. They're beautiful per se, but they could be here, there, Timbuktu, Rome, Milan, New York, Tulum, same thing. These are very specific to the place, to where they have deep roots into the side of these hills, and I think that they're going to be very recognizable as being the specific main character of that specific area of Malibu. I have no doubts. Nicky Marmette, our interior designer, is a very talented individual, and we've figured out early that our feeling for materials, color palettes, and overall look were very similar. He's worked a lot in mid-century modern, and most of the designs are a contemporary rendering of mid-century modern. So some of the materials are the same, definitely the color palettes and the textures, and so it was a good fit. We had obviously had to work together in understanding the scales and the proportions of things, because these are big houses. They have big rooms, big windows, tall ceilings, big environments that work with materials and textures in different ways than smaller environments, of course. And like all all our consultants. We've learned to know each other, and it's been a pleasure to work with him.